hash uh, malaria or what? I said malaria, millenary or something like that. He's been around for a while. He's been games manager for a couple years. That's the most famous person I know that he's associated with. And Blueface, WACK 100 is very controversial. He's on popular podcasts, No Jumper with Adam 22. And what makes him controversial that he spills the tea a lot about a lot of people, talks a lot about different crime stories, if you want to call it that, things what are going on in the industry. He happens to know a lot of business. Well, he is in Hollywood, right? And you could probably find out about a couple things. But recently, with Loose Cannon and Big U and a lot of people associated with the Rolling 60s have been indicted in this whole what's called federal case. And this guy talks a lot. He knows a lot of the business. He knows all the details almost. I swear, he's working with the police. It seems like he's working with the police or the FBI because he knows too much. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's reporting a lot of stuff every day. Um, he knows Loose Cannon's wife, which is one of the individuals that is incarcerated right now. Stuff is all over the internet, all over YouTube, and he recently basically disrespected Loose Cannon's wife, right? I don't know if this man is bipolar because 1 minute he's cool with people, then he's not cool with people. A lot of people been calling him Fed. A lot of people been calling him the police. I've been calling him the hip hop police. Um, Bless up to the brother Hoodlum from IBM World. He been calling him out a lot. He been calling him out a lot, and he should call him out because the man Whack 100 put the man's house on his Instagram and been talking about him also, right? And he put the man's wife on Instagram on the net. So when you do those stuff, yo, don't be surprised for the response. The man can respond. He's a supporter of Loose Cannon. He's part of Loose Cannon's team. So if you're gonna diss Loose Cannon, don't expect don't think that no one's gonna respond back to you. Like, you're gonna get a response back because if you're dissing Loose Cannon, if you're dissing his wife, you're dissing his team. So you're gonna get a response. You could be mad all you want, you could be angry all you want, but this is what's going on. You got a lot of people coming at you because all the years talking shit about people. You claim you know all this information, and that's why it's going on. You're seeing it all over YouTube. People calling out WACK 100, right? WACK 100, you involve yourself in too much people's business, and now it's coming back at you. People are calling you broke. They're looking up your background. How does it feel? I heard recently this man was on academics stream, angry as hell, dissing Loose Cannon's wife, saying all types of things, calling out other people. What do you expect? Now, Whack been around for a good time, a couple of years. He associates himself with the Bloods because he always says on Pyru. He associates himself with the Bloods, the Los Angeles or California Bloods, right? But he's from the Valley. He's from not a popular place many people know, but he's from somewhere in the Valley in California. Um, let's see now. There's not a lot you could really talk about WAC 100's history. He claims he was in prison for a couple of years and he is a blood. That's what he claims, right? But a lot of people are calling him fake blood. He has a lot of support. He does have a lot of support. I mentioned earlier he's the manager of Blueface. I don't know. He has some influence to be the manager of Blueface, and he's the manager. Well, I don't think I'm hearing recently he doesn't manage Game, but he was known as the manager for Game. He has a contract with Adam 22. Um, some people may say that he's extorting Adam, or Adam's scared of him, so that's why there's the Adam and WACK show. He's always on there. That's his main platform. Without that platform, he really doesn't have a big voice, right? It's not amplified. But WAC 100, still kind of a mystery, right? Um, People are calling him broke. That's what I'm hearing a lot. They're calling this man broke. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I'm hearing. A lot of back and forth is going on right now, like I mentioned on YouTube, especially from the brother Hoodlum, right? Hoodlum is really putting the fire under this man's ass. But listen, it's karma. You put out certain energy, don't expect that it's not going to come back to you, whack. It's coming back to you. So I always wonder, what is the purpose of whack? What's the real purpose of whack, right? Because besides talking a lot of people's business, right? What does he do? He's a manager. Right now, Blueface is incarcerated. Right now, the game, if he is the manager of game still, or was, the game is in a bad situation himself, or was in a bad situation himself, with a sexual assault, allegation charge, where he's supposed to pay the victim a certain amounts of monies, right? I heard about that a couple of years ago. Basically, his catalog is like hostage. He should be giving the so-called victim um, money, right? So, whack right now. A lot of people he's associated with, but he calls out a lot of people's names. Um, I don't know, man. He had beef with Brick Baby, who was on the same platform, which is kind of strange. Two guys who don't like each other on the same platform. One's locked up now, and he's out. Some people are speculating that Whack may get locked up too, right? But who's Whack? Whack is a bully. Whack is a bully, and he's been bullying people for years, right? And still he's bullying people now. Is it working? His bully tactics? Maybe for some people, but now he's getting bullied. And the bully does not like to get bullied. So you have individuals talking about him, calling him out, um, but he's still standing his ground. A lot of people are accusing him of attacking an individual. I think it was outside of the studios. Correct me if I'm wrong. Of No Jumper, attacking an individual. I'm seeing justice for Marciano. I heard he allegedly got people to attack um, what's called this individual. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he always puts out cryptic messages. He's good at doing that. And really, besides what I've mentioned with the blue face and the game, and he has a label or entertainment company, 100 Entertainment, and he has a show called The Exposers. He likes Clubhouse a lot. I heard of Clubhouse a couple years ago, but I don't see really the use. He loves using Clubhouse. That's one of his major hubs that Wack uses. Clubhouse. I guess he has a big supporting community on Clubhouse, so he uses that a lot. He goes on different platforms, like he's on Vlad. He got academics, and he got Adam 22. So he got some of the top platforms, if media urban platforms with him. So that's why he's confident. He got a machine. He got Adam 22, like I said, he got academics and Vlad. He's all over Vlad right now. So people are seeing him, and his opinions are amplified because he got these big platforms, like it or not. But like I said, a lot of people are calling him out, and they're saying he's a Fed. I said he's the hip hop police. What else is there? There's so much other things about this guy. Like he made beef recently with what's his name again? from New York. How could I forget his name, man? Jim Jones made beef with Jim Jones, right? Online. He loves the online beef, right? So who else he's gonna make beef with? Because he talks about a lot of people, man. This guy talks about a lot of people. That's his job. He's a gossip king or gossip queen, right? But recently in the news with him, um, he's claiming people been threatening his wife, right, or his girlfriend R&B. He claims a lot of things been going on. I think he even got his lady to do some type of report against a content maker that's with loose cannon, right? So it's just a lot of mix up, a lot of crazy stuff is going on. He's kind of still a mystery, WAC 100. Still kind of a mystery, right? Some people may know more about him, but I guarantee he's a bully. So if Big U is a bully, he's a bully. And he doesn't like Big U either, but look on it. Big U represents the blue, he represents the red. Big U's doing similar what was doing similar actions like Whack. I'm hearing that Whack got his ass basically handled by Loose Cannon, right? Got handled by Loose Cannon. Um, so there could be still beef from that, but they probably have history over the years, right? Because like I said, Big U represents the blue, he represents the red, and like I said in other podcasts, when you get somebody like Big U out of the picture who had influence in Los Angeles, California, it makes somebody else like um, Whack more confident, and because he feels that there's nobody in his way like a Big U to kind of keep him at bay at a certain level. So now he feels he's the big bully. That's what he feels. He feels he's the big bully right now. WAC 100. WAC 100, I'm hearing, used to be Suge Knight's driver. He used to be the driver for Suge Knight on Death Row, right? I'm talking Death Row after Tupac and after who else? Snoop. Yeah, he was the driver in the days when the role he kind of tried to change the name, and I think who was still left there, I think Corrupt and maybe Daz was there, but I think it was just Corrupt, and he had a new class of people with crooked eye and stuff like that, so he was the driver for Suge, so he probably took in um, some things from Suge, a little influence from him, and then he went with it, and now he wants to be like the boogeyman, or the, if you want to call it, the new Suge, but he's the social media Suge Knight, if you want to call it like that. But are people scared of Whack? I don't know. Maybe where he's at, people might be scared of him. And I'm hearing that he manages Ray J. So you got to look on it. He manages Ray J. Ray J, somebody who has money, and he manages Blueface. And Ray J, right? His background, he represents the red flag and stuff, right? And I swear he was cool with Shook. So it's kind of weird because Ray J is cousins with Snoop, and Snoop's a blood. I mean, not a blood, a Crip. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's not a blood. Snoop's a Crip, and Ray J is representing that red from the blood set. And you maybe that's the connection with Ray J and WAC 100. So WAC 100 does manage people, right? They're not the biggest, right? But I'm wondering the same way he's using these tactics to know about all these people's business. Is it does he extort these artists? Is he extorting Blueface? Was he extorting the game? Is he extorting Ray J? Maybe he must know some business on them. If he knows business about all these people in the industry, as he claims, or on the streets, He probably knows stuff about Ray J. He probably knows stuff about the game, what we don't know. And Blueface, right? He got one locked up. Game had some type of assault charge on him, and Ray J is the only clean one so far, even though he has history with what's the name, Whitney Houston. Now, where is this gonna go now? Because the big battle online is what I see right now. I don't know if you want to admit it, Whack. Uh, the big battle is Loose Cannon's IBM team on his ass, especially Hoodlum. Hoodlum is on Wax, like he's giving it to him, right? There's nothing Whack has come back with in response. He hasn't come back with no good response yet. The only thing we're hearing is like police tactics that he's, you know, making his girlfriend or wife do reports. So he's losing right now in this social media game. He's losing against Hoodlum. Straight up. He's losing against IBM Hoodlum. He's not winning. As big as he may so called be and have all these connections, he's losing, right? And some people, this is how you play the game. Um, Sometimes you just don't respond. You don't respond because the more you, maybe that's what he's trying to do. But he already responded a couple times. He's just doing it cryptically. He's going on different platforms talking. So he is responding, but not directly, right? He's doing it a different way. But doing that still makes the other individual get attention. And then people will look into things. And then you'll be discredited. That's what's happening to Whack. So he doesn't want to mention the name. Well, he has mentioned it. I think he mentioned the name, has he? Yeah, maybe once, but not a lot like how he likes to mention other people all the time. So right now, what's next for Whack? Because he's losing. He hasn't really had, like I would say, an episode trying to discredit all these allegations of being a Fed or being a hip hop police or all the stuff what he's put out there. He hasn't really defended himself, right? But now he's talking about how he does it. He deflects it by talking about other subjects. So hopefully those people will respond and then they'll forget about the rest of the stuff. But it's not going away. It's not going away because Loose Cannon's incarcerated, Brick Baby's incarcerated, right? Big U's incarcerated, and like it or not, they have some association with WACK 100. You know how they're associated? With No Jumper. And No Jumper, like you said, you have a contract with them. So, and you're on that platform. So that's what's going on. Your association is making people call you out because you like to call people out. That's what's going on. So WAC 100 is about, I think, how old is he now? It's about, how old is this man? It's about 40, maybe turning 49, right? So he's been around for a while. He's an OG. So he knows certain things. He knows certain people. What maybe not everybody may know, but he knows certain things and he knows certain people from his time, right? He's very confident individual. Uh, I cannot lie. A lot of people may not like him, but he has experience in the game, right? Being around a lot of people. He has experience, but his mouth goes everywhere, everywhere. And it makes a lot of people, angry and not like him. He's not well liked. So, what's the next chapter for him? He'll try to probably deflect, deflect, right? Uh, there's all this talk with these other characters, 600, right? I think his name is Brother Lovejoy and some shit like that. I heard this guy, like I said, he's a boxer. This character just came out of nowhere, out of nowhere. This guy, I never heard of this guy until this indictment came down on all these individuals. It's kind of funny that this guy gets comes out of nowhere and he gets popular through this whole indictment regarding the Rolling 60s and things like that, right? So in this age, it's popular to be a snitch, or it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what you do anymore because you got like people like 6ix9ine who's still making money, still doing music. Uh, he celebrates that he's a rat, and guess who's friends with him? WACK 100 is cool with 6ix9ine, and everybody denounced 6ix9ine. Everybody call out 6ix9ine, and WACK 100 is cool with 6ix9ine, right? And 6ix9ine, Takashi 6ix9ine, is another individual who spills the tea sometimes, and WACK is cool with him, right? Uh, he's cool with academics, of course, because academics does similar stuff like him. Talks about a lot of people. He tries to expose a lot of people. Um, who else he's cool with? He's cool with, like I said, Adam 22. Adam 22 talks a lot of stuff and is the biggest podcast, or what they claim, in the West Coast, LA, and he's on there. So, what's the purpose for WACK? I think the purpose for WACK is to be what I mentioned many, many times, is to be the hip hop police, is to be the one that gets the spotlight things what's going on in the industry, where he can make content from, right? He doesn't really talk. He talked about Kanye. He doesn't talk about him too much. He tried to talk about Drake, saying he had the content that could probably ruin his career. He stopped talking about that. Drake don't like him. Um, he made beef with Top Five from Toronto, and Top Five called him a rat, and people were all over Top Five. People are all over Top Five. They were more on WACK 100 side. People better remember that they're on WACK 100 side. A lot of people, right? But those same people were not with WACK anymore. But now, even Top Five looks more credible now. See how it bounced? He looks more credible. He was calling him a rat. He was saying that he records all of this stuff he was saying just not too long ago. So that's why I'm not surprised about all these allegations that WACK talked to the police or talked to the feds. I'm not surprised of all of this because Top Five was saying it, but no one was listening. Maybe because he's from Canada, he's from Toronto, and he's a character, and people are saying thinking that it's all craziness. But now, isn't it clear now? Is it clear now? I don't know. But yeah, what do you people feel about Top Five? Hmm? What do you feel about him now? Well, people, this was just like part one because I know that we're going to be talking about this guy even more, WAC 100. And he's beefing with Hoodlum right now, beefing with him. And Hoodlum has all the right to respond. Can't call up, can't put the man's wife, can't put the man's wife on your platform and think he's not going to respond. You hear me? Oh, well, people, subscribe, like, and comment, all that good stuff. I'm out, Down to Earth Network.